Heidi and Frank show. Sitting here with Jack Russell himself from Great White. So glad to have you on the show.
You're absolutely
thanks,
fascinating.
I was just talking off the air the whole time. I was like, my God, I wish these microphones were on right now. Hell with commercials.
Right? What a life you've had.
Interesting guy, and
it's been
great
pretty
career.
amazing. You know, it really has. I've lived 10 lives to one. I've always said we are doing a book.
Peaks and valleys, man.
So it's going to be great.
You're doing a book?
Yeah, the book's going to be great. I mean,
I heard 6 minutes of story. And I was like, I'll read the book. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I just heard
good.
a paragraph and I'm fascinated.
There's going to be a lot of people that are really pissed off when they finish reading. I'm not going to. I'm leaving nothing out. I mean,
really,
nothing.
Well, that's what I want to get
What's
to.
The point?
The question that I was that Heidi asked me before you even got in the studio was about the bro code. About would you sleep with one of your buddies' exes or whatever? And I said maybe it depends on the time frame of how long, if I'm seeing the guy anymore. And then we predicted what you would say. Have you slept with buddies' exes? And I said,
I've slept with my buddies.
She wasn't even there.
Well, yeah, right.
I didn't even know that was an option.
And their exes, yeah. I would say, hey, this what the hell? You know what?
That's great.
Back in the 80s,
this book is going to be good.
Rules. There was no rules. There was no holds barred. You know, it was kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I forgot you guys were married.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. So it was never mind.
Like any regrets? I mean, obviously, you're Jack. You're the man. As far as did you ever do it just to do it to see if you could do it?
Yeah, of course. A lot of times it was a conquest thing. It was a guy thing. I just like, well, gee, I wonder if I could sleep with his old lady. And
have you ever been turned down? Has Jack Russell ever been shot down?
Yeah. I have to admit it. Yeah. But, I didn't really want to be with her anyway. So.
Exactly.
She saved me from an embarrassing evening,
I do have a pair of tickets to go see Great White featuring Jack Russell at the Coach House. That's this Friday, January 11th. Let's take your call. We got Dean on the phone. We'll put your headphones on so you can hear the caller.
Cool.
That'd be great. Dean's got a question for Jack Russell.
Morning, Jack. How are you, sir?
I'm really good. How about you, man?
I'm honored to speak to you. I have a question for you. What was your vocal training? And the reason I'm asking that question, I saw the John Anson Ford Theater. I don't know if you remember that gig.
Yeah, I do. I jammed with Michael Anthony.
Yes, sir. And let me tell you something. You blew Robert Plant pretty much off the stage. You're shredded. It was so freaking good. I just like to know, what was your training? Because Plant didn't have a whole bunch. He kind of figured it out as he went along. But my God, dude, you freaking rock!
Thank you so much. I've had a lot of years of training with a gentleman named Ron Anderson, who is very much operatic trained, and that just what it's done for me is it really helped me save my voice. I warm up like 6 times a day before a show, and I warm down afterwards. I take really good care of my pipes. That's so far I've been able to keep my voice. All these years, so and I'll continue to do that till I retire. But I've had really good training, and
So you would say operatic training?
Operatic training.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's just basically just like warming up, like burbles and scales and things like that. That loosen your cords up. It's like being a runner.
Yeah.
You're not just going to go take off and do a decathlon. You're going to stretch out and and then when you get done, you're just going to kind of
cool down.
Cool down. It's the same exact thing. So
do you still have a coach, or is this you just basically
No. Well, actually, no. I have to tell you, there's a gentleman from a band called The Sweet, one of the singers in the English band, who actually flew over here recently on his own dime, and sat down on my boat with me and gave me some different training, so it could help me come back because I've been out for a year and a half,
And were you worried? Did you have a tube? Were you intubated at all? You were in a coma for.
Yeah. They had the things down my nose. I woke up and I was pulling them out.
Yes, of course. Then you get up and you're raspy. You're like.
Yeah, but it did. They knew I was a singer. My wife had told them, hey, be careful. So they're extra careful when they're jamming stuff down my throat.
Yeah.
You mean if you're not a singer, they just jam stuff down your throat?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna tell them I'm a singer if I
all
go
kinds
in.
of stuff.
He's a singer.
We're here to fix her. We're here to fix her bowel. We don't care about her vocal cords.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Dean.
Thanks a lot, Dean. I appreciate it very much, and thank you for the compliment, man.
We got Dave on line 7. Dave, has colitis. Hey, Dave.
Hey, hi, Frank. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Say
Say hi
hello
to
to
How you
Jack.
doing, Dave?
Hey, Jack, what's happening, brother? I just did not know that you had colitis, and you actually had me have a really interesting question for you. I suffer from ulcerative colitis myself.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
It's the piss, man. And my question was, I'm a musician myself. I just turned 50, and half a century. Great.
Right on. I just turned 52.
I was wondering how. Thanks, bro. I was wondering how did you deal? I mean, I gave up the career, because I knew there was going to be shows I couldn't make, and I could potentially let my bandmates down, and the whole thought of touring and having a flare up just freaked me out enough to where I actually, pursued different interests. And how did you deal with it?
Well, I've been really fortunate. I've only had, I'm usually in remission, and even when I have it, it's never been debilitating.
Nothing specific brings it on, like a food. It just happens.
It's usually stress.
Okay.
Usually stress. I mean, it's the last flare up I had was 2 days before my deposition. And then I ended up in Florida, and I had to postpone 2 shows because they stuck me in the hospital. They said, "Dude, you've had diarrhea for 12 days now. I think you better
maybe a
go
little
in."
dehydrated.
Yeah, what is this, Heidi?
Yeah, right. So I went into the hospital, and they say a bunch of IVs. And then I was okay. And next weekend we played.
But it's just stress usually. It's not like something like
it's usually
the
stress
band's
for me.
pissed off when it's taco night. You're
Right.
like,
Yeah, right.
"Oh, guys, come on."
I hate you guys.
Yeah, they're like loading me up with salsa and stuff. Right?
What do you love that you can't eat anymore that you really miss?
Spicy foods I stay away from. My doctor basically told me the other day, you can eat whatever you want, But I still try to stay away from stuff like that because I have acid reflux too, and that just burns my cords,
Right, yeah.
Which is no fun. So, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's just, it's a really debilitating. It can be very debilitating, but I've been fortunate enough not to have it be so bad, and knock on wood, it'll remain that way.
Well, Dave, do you think you could make it to the show?
Absolutely, I could.
Well, I'm going to give you the pair of tickets to go see
you
Jack
serious?
Russell. Yes, I am.
You guys rock. You guys are so bitchin'.
There you
You
go,
too,
man.
Dave.
Right on. Well, make sure you come say hello after the show, Dave, all right?
I'd be happy to, Jack. I appreciate your time, man. You rock.
Oh, my pleasure, man. God
People
bless.
love you, Jack Russell.
Good, dude. Aging like fine wine, baby.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're also getting an autographed CD. Look at that. He's even autographed some CDs for everybody. Awesome.
People love Jack Russell.
We're taking
I
another
love you
break.
guys.
Thank you so much for coming in, man.
Oh, my
Seriously.
pleasure, man. My pleasure. It's been great.
Anytime you're back through Los Angeles, it must be, being here at KLOS for you, really, KMET and KLOS is where you
This
guys
is a home
really
week, yeah, man. I remember doing interviews
launched.
here with Joe Benson.
Yeah,
and,
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
He's still
yeah.
here. Can you believe that?
I know.
He's like a great uncle by
It
this
was
point.
funny. We were doing this interview with him one time, and I was reading this book he had. It was like the Encyclopedia of Rock, right?
Yeah.
And there was one page I'm looking, Dante Fox. It's which was before a Great White. We called Dante Fox, right? It says a Van Halen clone with an equally posy and made-up lead singer. I turned to Great White in the same book, a classic great rock band. I'm like, you idiot! It's the same band. We just changed the name, and all of a sudden we're great. And before I was a
I don't like that Dante Fox with that great white. That is something else.
yeah, there's
That's
something
so
else.
great.
Yeah.
Well, I know what to bust his balls on the next company meeting and be like, hey, I know a story about you, Uncle Joe.
Yeah, no, it wasn't his book, but he had it sitting there. We were laughing about it. Yeah, we were laughing about it.
Thank you so much for coming in. If you
Hey,
want
thanks, guys.
They still
appreciate
tickets to
having
the show? That's are there still tickets available?
they can probably
Yeah,
call the
there's still
Coach
some
House
available, yeah.
and get some tickets. That's this Friday, Great White, featuring Jack Russell. You don't want to miss that.
Great
Thank
guy.
you so much. We are Heidi and Frank.
That was just a little sample of the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS. To get more samples like this and hear all the fun we have, you can do that at 955KLOS.com. Now, to get the show in its entirety on demand, and if you want to watch the show, we webcast it every day, all you have to do is go to HeidiandFrank.com and become a premium package member. Do it right now.